Thanks for watching, friends. You know, every week here on the show, we are highlighting great organizations giving back to our community. And this week, we're showcasing the great work of Feeding South Florida, the largest, most efficient food bank in South Florida. Miriam joins us with more. You had the chance to talk with the CEO and president of the organization.
Yeah, you know, it felt like a lifelong dream to go to Feeding South Florida HQ, right? I got the chance to tour the facility and talk to Paco Vélez, the CEO and president of Feeding South Florida, and talk about who they are and their efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic. Check it out. Feeding South Florida is a member of Feeding America. They're a food bank that rescues food from those who have it to those who need it. The organization has been the largest efficient food bank serving Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade, and Monroe counties. The organization also supports 25% of the state's food insecure population. And before the pandemic, Feeding South Florida distributed food through innovative direct service programs and through a network of nonprofit partner agencies.
Prior to COVID, Feeding South Florida was distributing over 61.5 million pounds of food to 706,000 individuals across our four-county area. We were working with over 300 different nonprofit organizations, and we were encouraging all the nonprofit organizations, as well as our own pantries, to be choice pantries for families. This provides a little bit more dignity, more respect, and allows families to choose what they want to eat, whether it's by cultural preference, religious preference, or based on what their families can or cannot have because of any kind of allergies. Once COVID hit, we weren't able to have families choose anymore, so we ended up going through a drive-through distribution.
Once the pandemic hit, Feeding South Florida kicked into full gear to help our communities.
Once the pandemic hit, Feeding South Florida quickly mobilized and started its first drive-through distribution. We took enough food for 700 families and quickly realized we were over 3,000 families short. We had a line that was miles long, and we quickly mobilized and launched 40 more distributions across our four-county area. Those distributions happen on a weekly basis, same day of the week, every week, same time, same location, so families knew exactly where to go to get that food. We also worked with schools directly, Miami-Dade School District, Palm Beach County School District, and Broward School District. We prepared meal boxes and shipped those meal boxes directly to the schools to ensure the kids and their families had enough to eat. We also worked with Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Miami-Dade PD, and mostly with Broward Sheriff's Office to ensure that those offices were able to take food into the areas where they knew that there was families that needed assistance.
Paco says the overwhelming need of food during the pandemic hit a new high.
Throughout the pandemic, we served over 1.4 million individuals, unique individuals, many times over, and we distributed over 183 million pounds of food from the beginning of the pandemic through about the middle of March.
And the job still isn't done. Feeding South Florida is determined to serve those in our communities who are finally getting back on their feet.
The misconception is that because we're going back to normal or South Florida's opening back up is that families are okay now. The reality is a lot of families are still not going back to work. Some of those families that are going back to work still have payments to make from months back, their car payments, their home payments, or rent payments. So they're still trying to get back on their feet. We've been in triage mode for so long, helping families put food on the table. Now we're in long-term recovery mode. We want to make sure that we're helping families with food, but also providing them the job skills that necessary so they can get higher paying jobs, so they can start paying off some of those debts that they have from back then, but also continue to make a living for their own families.
If you want to help Feeding South Florida, here's how you can do it.
The biggest way to get involved is to go to feedingsouthflorida.org. There you can donate money, which is the best way to get involved. Another way is to come out and volunteer your time, whether it's here or one of our many distributions. And another way is really to lend your voice. So many families feel they don't have a voice because they don't have a lot of money with the elected officials and with folks who make policy that negatively impact our families. So we want to make sure that our families have a voice, not just at their local government, but also their state government and their federal government.
You know, Miriam, we talk about efficiency, and Feeding South Florida last year alone did close to 180 million meals, and close to 170 pounds of food was moved through the bank.
Yeah, you know, like you said, that's so efficient, and they're still doing so much good work. It's not only that. They have the mobile pharmacy, they have a community kitchen, and of course, they're delivering meals. So within all of that, I will show you, and I will go more in depth into all of those programs. And if anybody wants any assistance or if they want to volunteer, you can head on over to their website, feedingsouthflorida.org.
Love it. Miriam, boots on the ground. Good to see you.
You're welcome. See you. Good to see you.
Still